The following is a conversation between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am. The date is February 17th, 2021, and the subject is the emotional aspect of the knees in the sign of Aquarius. Me. Nothing better for knee day than Capricorn. The summary of this sign is probably embodied in the word work. And yet it is one of the most ambiguous and strange symbols in the entire zodiac. What really is Capricorn? I am. Capricorn, as its word indicates, arises from the union of Capri, from Capr meaning goat, and Corneo, from cornus meaning horn. It is the horned goat, in some cases drawn with a single horn or with two, half of its body being a fish. Along with Sagittarius, he is the most mythological being in the zodiac, and his story is peculiar. We have mentioned that one of the possible origins of this sign is the faun Pan, from Greek mythology, who, helping the gods with his music to defend themselves from the jaws of the monster Typhon, ran to hide by submerging himself in the waters of the Nile River, where Zeus turned him into half a fish so he could live underwater. Me. Although it is very strange that a god related to games and fun turned into half fish has incarnated an earth sign and has little time to have fun. I am. Mythological history has nothing to do with what this sign refers to. His time, his period, are related to the middle of winter, a cold time of loneliness, of internalization. Typhon was a monster, son of Gaia, the earth, who embraced the mountains and dragged everything in his path, a giant up to the sky, took mountains with his hands. What does this sound like to you? Me. I guess it has to do with the description of a geological process. I am. Rather climatological. The sandstorms, the northern winds, the great storms that froze everything. That abrupt change was monstrous. At this time, the cattle from the mountains had to go down to the rivers to get away from this change. In the Middle East, goats were the main source of meat, and, of course, during the winter, they were the main source of food. The goats in the rivers, and each group needed its male goats who fertilized the females. Me. The word typhoon comes to mind to describe a hurricane. Of course, it comes from the same root. It's something chaotic and gigantic that reaches the stars and destroys everything. And it makes sense that the goats, the shepherds, come down from the high peaks to get closer to the rivers. I am. It is time to save yourself, to take refuge and to prepare everything for the next stage. You never know what can happen, and things can always get worse. You never know what will come in the next annual cycle. The Capricorn characteristic refers to the hard and lonely work, going within, getting through the winter of the soul, working methodically in the harshest weather, coping with discomfort. The time for the walk in the mountains is over, and the hard work of keeping the sheep alive begins. Me. That is the time that shapes the Capricorn consciousness. I am. The sign describes that to obtain what one seeks, it is necessary to make an effort and face adversity. Me. Getting bread with the sweat of the brow. An old phrase, but still considered necessary to refer to real work. Before it was considered that if you did not suffer, it was not work, that you had to make an effort to get what you want. I am. And isn't that what in a certain way your subconscious still believes? Me. Well, yes. My Capricorn ascendant makes me feel all the time that I'm not doing enough, that living well doesn't show that I'm doing useful things. In addition to the social mandate to believe that what I do cannot be considered a real job. And it is often said, when are you going to stop doing what you do and go to work for real? Get a job like the people, a normal one. These phrases are decisive at the time of effort, of sweat. I am. From work. That is precisely what work represents, the concept of effort. Me. And yes, My inner self sometimes feels like I'm not doing enough. I need to wear things that make me feel uncomfortable to get the feeling that I'm really doing something worthwhile. I am, when you know it's not like that. Me. I appreciate having the moon in Sagittarius. That makes me feel like I can have fun. I am. Everyone has a bit of self-harm when it comes to exertion. Some more, some less. But the Capricorn mandate of work resides there in popular culture. It is the belief that things must be achieved through challenges. And beyond the fact that life and evolution are based on it, it does not mean that it should dominate our lives. Let's first analyze the tools that Capricorn gives us. Me, the Earth Trinity. I am Taurus in the body, Virgo in the soul, and Capricorn in the spirit. Me. First of all, how can it be that the spiritual level is the one that represents the unsatisfied effort? I am. Well, because you're looking at spirits with old Piscean eyes, believing that the spirit is an angelic, subtle, emotional, and divine concept does nothing more than speak of your cultural, religious, and Piscean preconceptions. The spirit of the earth is the one that turns simple coal into crystals, diamonds, quartz. The spirit of the earth is the one that takes atoms of different minerals and builds a complex being like the human being. The spirit of the earth is not subtle, it is dense, and its density is what creates the wonders of this world. Alchemy, the beauty of nature. It is eternal patience, the quality of taking things that surround you to manifest evolution, infinite capacities based on gravity and ingenuity, from analysis, trial and error. Without these attributes, nothing would exist. Without facing Typhon and finding ways to get through it, to survive, to try until you discover the best potentials, life as you know it would not have become what it is. The earth has taken millions, billions of years to generate what you take for granted today, and its beauty is not magic, it is constancy, and in that constancy is where you find the spirit of the earth. Me. Now I understand. I am. Thus, the comfortable and settled body of Taurus will only find the way to transcend and transform itself if it recognizes that to achieve said transformation, it must follow in the footsteps of its Trinity, finding doctrine and order, recognizing that eternal constancy is the greatest attribute of the spirit. Hence, meditation, stability, contemplation, deep solitude are qualities of Capricorn, who finds in the task the method of spiritual manifestation. Me. Capricorn discovers the spirit in his action, in producing, not in closing his eyes and sitting down to meditate. Is that it? I am. While others idealize and dream, feel and play, the Capricorn spirit sets out to make those ideas and dreams a reality, for others to feel and play. Without the work of this attribute, you could not have other experiences. Thus, Capricorn meditation consists of finding a comfortable and solitary space where you can think of different ways to achieve something, to make those dreams possible. Me. Nothing is achieved without perseverance. I am. Maybe it takes lives for some, or minutes for others. That will depend on the practice you have in it. Me. I have a hard time with perseverance. I am. The reason this happens is because one of the aspects of Capricorn is that they cannot enjoy their own riches. You must try harder and leave your benefits to the rest. Thus, Capricorn is a kind of Franciscan or Jesuit monk who works as workers or slaves, giving their lives for the rest because they do not consider themselves deserving of their own benefits. This is why they fail to take the time for the constancy of those things that will produce personal well-being. But if they are constant for a greater well-being, because their service is evolutionary. Me. And what about the negative aspects when we are off axis? I am. Capricorn, being an earth sign, has a huge record of every mistake in their lives, and one of the words that defines it off axis is grudge. They do not want to repeat the same thing, and therefore they make blacklists of topics to be rejected. This is restricting their relationships, leaving them more and more alone, distanced from the rest, more friends of books and projects than of people. He prefers not to have responsibilities from others more than his own, and ends up banishing anyone who interferes between his goals and his person. Obsessive-compulsive, it will not be easy to change their point of view, because self-absorbed they do not see other options than their own, which implies that the same perseverance they use to make their dreams possible becomes slow to make transformations. Me. I understand myself much better. I am. Well, now you recognize that Capricorn, although it seems slow, is the one who drives your evolution, and all the tools that it has discovered in its history on Earth will be useful to you to achieve your goals. Nurture them, and you will go far. Me. In order to ascend to another level of consciousness, I must therefore put the force that drives my purpose. I am. Another of the ancient symbols for this sign was the unicorn, the one-horned horse, who represented the spiritual ascension of said force and intention, with its third eye radiating, creating matter, making alchemy. This mythological animal, then, represents what you have to incorporate in you from this constellation. Remember that diamonds arise under great pressure. Me. I am the result of the spiritual force of the earth. I am. You are the seed of material divine wisdom, love, and will.
My heart